All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition, episode 98, I do believe. 98 episodes on From the Chair with Big Money Exchange. Tonight, our co host has joined us again, and you are well, sir. Welcome back to Big Money
You're
Dodge.
welcome.
Of course, we've got the wrestling encyclopedia, the talking forehead, the man with the most, the man that doesn't know how to shut up, Mr. Nathan Noss, and our guest, Mr. Ty
He gets more than I
Kwon
do?
Pro.
God, what is wrong with these people?
So at this time, we'd like to give the floor to our guest and let him introduce himself and a little bit about himself.
All right, so my name is Taekwon Fro. I'm the master of the sheesh, and I am 21 years old. I've been wrestling for about 2 years. Made my debut April 9th of 2021 when I was still 18. Started getting into wrestling in Alaska after I graduated high school because, the whole entire COVID lockdown just was depressing. Needed something to do, and I found out that there was a wrestling school here. So I was really just in awe about that because, what kid, when you're about 5, 6 years old, you see wrestling on the TV, that's something that you want to aspire. And yeah, so I saw that, made the tryout, and I've been training since 2020, but been wrestling since 2021 for 2 years, obviously. I already said that, but I started out wrestling as Rome Gibson. Was It was all right, but really just wasn't for me. So luckily, my manager and leader at Bard, Bobcat McDillon, changed me into Taekwondo Fro.
Wow.
Very nice.
Well, you keep up the great work, sir.
Thank you. Will do.
As long
Go
as
ahead,
you're
Big
heel,
Money.
we could be friends.
I am not a heel, fortunately.
Okay, turn this guy off then. He's a face. Get him out of here. Okay, I guess I'll ask the hard-hitting questions because that's what you guys pay me to do. So, good sir, scariest injury in your career so far?
I haven't really
If any.
had any injuries, luckily, other than hitting my head a couple times, but I've been hitting my head since the day I came out the womb, so easy to shake it off.
I came out with a steel chair and money, so. Well, I'm glad you haven't had an injury, so be safe, but have fun.
Will do.
Go ahead, Nate.
So, who were your wrestling heroes growing up?
Wrestling heroes, started watching wrestling when I was about 5 to 6. So the first wrestling match that I actually seen was Undertaker versus The Big Show in a steel cage match. So Undertaker was my dad's favorite wrestler, so got to put him up there. John Cena is my all-time favorite wrestler, so always got to go with him. And then Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been killing it. Hopefully he gets well soon with his back injury, because that sucks having to see that happen.
Yeah, it does.
But my childhood heroes have been wrestling almost since I was born, so it's just their age catching up with them, unfortunately, but wish them best.
All right. Well, we debuted a few new questions on the podcast yesterday, so I'm going to ask one of those new questions. What do you enjoy in your free time, and what are your hobbies?
Free time, I like playing video games, watching movies. I'm a huge comic book nerd, huge Marvel, DC, Star Wars fan, so just chilling out. If I'm not working or wrestling or working out, I'm either playing video games or either way, I'm being a nerd. So
That's what I do. I kill people on Call of Duty legally.
Well, you
Legally.
Or
mean,
get killed.
or you
Gotta-
mean,
Thanks.
gotta add legally.
Yes, because who knows who's watching. Anyways,
But
Top.
but hold on, isn't it Nathan? Haven't you said he's been killed more than he's killed people before?
Especially by the plane. Gotta watch out for the death from above, Dodge.
Carry on, Dodge. So sorry to interrupt you, sir.
You better be. That'll cost you.
Panda's behind
You're lucky.
you. Oh, here comes the
Favorite
flying out.
5 top indie female wrestlers.
Oh, that's a hard one. Shoot.
Well, that's why I ask the hard questions.
Right. Well, favorite 5, I
Yes.
gotta go with obviously a couple of my own people, 907's Aurora Rain, Rena Leo, and fun fact, if you tune into the July 8th show, you'll be seeing Aurora Rain. Gotta go with. Would you still count Lady Frost as indie even though she appeared on AEW?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta add her. She's straight up killer. Who else? Freya.
Yep.
She's amazing. She started up here, so she's actually one of those that helped me get into wrestling up here, giving me a lot of great advice. And top, ooh, dang, that's gonna be hard. The 5th one is hard. I don't want to hurt anybody for not being in my top 5.
Why not? You could become a heel tonight, so do it.
I don't
Hurt their
want to be a
feelings.
heel. Number 5.
Oh my gosh.
Number 5. I'll let you guys choose.
Scarlet Rose. Oh, smart man. Okay. Good man.
You only said that because she's a part of your group.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Nate.
So can you tell us about the 5-way scramble that you were in for the... I can't remember the title, and I just saw it today.
Six man.
Or
So
six
yeah,
man.
that was for the Midnight Sun Championship. So long story short, the reason why it was a scramble and it was crowned new is because Jerry Bishop, he was the first 907 Midnight Sun champion. And it's our secondary title. And so when you win the title, you defend it 5 times, and then you can either continue to defend it or you can go for the 907 championship, which is our main title. So I was trying to become the second champion. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, I didn't. But me and my tag team partner / mentor Bobcat McDillon, we were like, hey, why not try to outnumber everybody and try to win the title for one of us? But yeah, spoiler alert, Gunner won the championship. Congratulations. He's defending the championship against your boy Lovejoy's other client, Deacon Christopher.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you're going to lose it to anybody, at least you lost it to a badass, because that guy would not be Gunner would not be a guy I'd want to meet in an alley somewhere if I owned his money.
He's a fighter, so you know what, that's another good thing. You always want to have a fighting champion, somebody that's willing to get down and dirty. And he had a good match with Jerry Bishop for the Midnight Sun Championship before he won it. So
very nice.
All right, so my question is a 2-part question, and it's one of our new questions. What is your pre-match and your post-match routine?
Pre-match routine, well, I'm Taekwondo froze, so I throw a lot of kicks, gotta stretch. Listening to music, to get me into the mood and be energetic. Post-match, it's hard for me to, after the match, win or lose, it's hard for me to cycle down and cool down. So I got to do a lot of walking, got to just think about the match and just drink water. I do a lot of stuff to try to cool down after the match.
I just count my money both. I'm just saying. All right.
He's the modern day Scrooge McDuck.
Right. And I think you and the pimp YT Jones would be good friends.
I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna have to talk to that kid. Maybe a new member of the Big Money Exchange.
Well, I don't know.
Just say.
Does the pimp hate pandas?
One more time.
Does the pimp hate pandas?
That's a question. Hopefully, if you guys get him on board, that's a question to ask him. I mean, so another fun fact in the Sullivan arena for one of the Wrestle Pro Alaska shows. Before I started pro wrestling, this was when I was 17, still in high school. He did get not body slam, but he got taken down by Kevin Matthews when he was still teaming up with Falaba. So that was back body drop was the move. I don't know why I spaced on it, but he took a back body drop from KM. So he might be a little bit salty, Pimp.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit salty at the Panda Man for that.
Cool. All right.
Pandas.
Have you ever wrestled the World Wildlife Foundation?
And Dodge, your question before you answer it is brought to you by It's Pandemonium Day.
Makes it even worse when it's breaking up.
So, have you ever wrestled in Southern California?
Unfortunately, not yet. I've had all my matches in Alaska. If I were to get the opportunity to wrestle out of Alaska, I'd be more than happy to take it.
Okay. Go ahead, Nate.
Well, this isn't so much a question, but a statement. For anybody that wants to see some funny stuff, you should check out Kwon Pro's Facebook page, because I saw some of your promos on there. Like the one where you, KM, and Follow Bob were sitting at like the lunch table, and you started going through with like what was bougie and stuff. And like all of a sudden, like Follow Bob just turns to you and is like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, since I'm not the youngest person in 907, but I'm one of the younger ones. So my whole entire gimmick is me being the Gen Z kid. So I'm always talking about what the new word is and what's popping, and a lot of the older guys don't get it. They're like, what the hell's wrong with you and your generation, so
no names.
But follow the finger.
Follow the finger. Popping is what's cool. Just say. I'm helping you out, Tony. You're welcome.
Got you. Okay, well, before I start my top 5 questions, I'm just going to ask a question. What's it like working with Fala?
I haven't worked with Fala, but I've talked to him. I've had conversations with him. He's one of the most nicest people that you'll ever meet. Any question you ask him, he'll answer it. And he's just a down-to-earth guy,
Very nice.
Go ahead with your favorite 5, Tony Khan.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to use that as a question, but okay, fine. What are your top 5 tag teams of all time?
Top 5 tag teams of all time: Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, obviously. One of the two best tag team rivalries there is. So that's 2 of them. I gotta go with the Usos. Gotta go. It's a little bit too early to say, but I gotta add the Acclaim on there just because of their promo skills, and Anthony Bowens is a beast. And
Sorry.
But
it's addicting. It's addicting. Sorry.
Right.
I got a story with that.
The Acclaim, they're just they have the potential to be on one of the best tag teams in history when they decide to
I
lay up
agree.
the boots.
Yep.
They have the charisma, like that's one thing that you got to have in pro wrestling. You got to have the charisma. And for 5, all right. So I said the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian,
Acclaim and
Acclaim,
Usos.
and the Usos. For 5, I would probably, I would say the New Day as well. In no specific order, as those 5, the New Day have always been, again, you gotta have charisma. Like I always, for me, and tag team wrestling or just wrestling in general, you gotta, I mean, obviously you gotta know how to wrestle, but you gotta have to be entertaining. Those 5 tag teams, they've always entertained me. I don't really think they. Plus, I already said the Usos, so I might as well have to add their best rival, the New Day.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good point.
I would love to see the New Day versus Acclaim.
That would be a pretty exciting tag team match right there.
Just saying. Okay, it's my turn. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. I got it. I got this. I got this. What?
Fly.
So, my question to you, good sir, if you were to sign with one of the major promotions, WWE, AEW, Impact, ROH, or New Japan, who would it be and who would you want your first match to be against?
Ooh, that's a very hard one. I'm gonna be.
See, I'm doing good. See, I'm gone for a few days and boom. God, I'm thinking.
I'm gonna answer this one as humbly as I can because I've only been wrestling for 2 years, and I mean, obviously, you got to believe yourself, but I don't think I'm there at all just yet. But if I were to choose for me to have a match with, I would say I would sign to AEW, and I would want to wrestle Adam Cole.
Ooh, very nice.
I've always liked him, like his in-ring work, and he's actually what kind of inspired my gimmick a little bit. But he would be, I think, me and him would have a pretty decent match. The bang versus the sheesh.
Sheesh.
I like that. Or either that or you and Chad Gable, so you could go sheesh and he could go shush.
Right? Who has the better shh?
So I have a 2-part question. 1, who is your toughest opponent? And 2, is KM as crazy as he was in Impact? Because he didn't exactly play a stable character in Impact.
So my hardest opponents they're both YT Jones's clients. I would say Money and Calvin James. Both are hard hitting opponents and they don't mess around. I faced them both 3 times, 2 in single matches and 1 in a tag team match pretty earlier this year. So they're hard hitting and they're just, you don't know what to expect when you hit with them. But yeah, KM, he's a fun guy. He is I would say, yeah, he's crazy. He's a good guy.
Very nice.
Go ahead, Tony Khan.
All right. Well, let's just keep going with the top 5. Let's do your top 5 female, not indie, your female professional wrestlers of all time.
Of all time, obviously, number 1, you got to go with Trish Stratus. She's it's good to see her wrestle now, against everybody that's in WWE that's a new face because, back then they didn't have that much TV time to wrestle. So you got to have Trish Stratus putting on bangers with everybody.
Just don't give her a microphone.
Yeah.
Her promos kind of suck. I'm sorry. I love the girl, but no.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is true, but in ring skills, she can go with
Oh
about
my gosh,
anybody.
she's a beast. Yeah.
Number two, I would obviously got to have her number one rival, Lita. Lita, freaking with the Hardy Boys doing Team Extreme, just one of the best. Number three, I would gotta go with Charlotte Flair. You know, I mean, as much as people love to hate on her, she's one of the best to go at it. You know, her
Agreed.
father's
Yep.
16-time world champion, Ric Flair. Number four, my personally my favorite women's wrestler of all time, Bailey.
Really?
And yeah, Bailey. You know, I mean, she's out of the four horsewomen, she's the most underrated one in my opinion. And then number five is for me is a it's a tie between Sasha Banks and Mickey James. But I'm gonna go with Mickey James just because she's always been around. You know, she's always been wrestling and having good matches, in my opinion.
Yep. She is a good wrestler. That's for sure.
That's a great list.
And and plus Mickey James, she's always been like whatever a company's wanted her to do, she's done it and
Oh yeah,
made it work.
Yeah.
that's true. What's your opinion on death matches, and would you ever be in one?
Death matches, wrestling had everybody has their own flavors. It's 31 flavors. So I would say I don't I'm neutral with it. I don't have any hate towards it, but sometimes like it is hard to watch, So
Yeah.
if done right, it can work. But for me personally, I would not want to wrestle in a death match. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't want to be barbed wired, and I don't want to barbed wire anybody. Keep it clean and simple. Unless if it's an Extreme Rules match. but but everybody has their own flavors. If you guys like death matches, that's okay. I have a couple friends that do death matches, and they're doing good in it.
So so since Tony can't have all the hard questions, I'll give you one. If you could book a WrestleMania card, let's say 6 matches, who would be in it from any generation? No restrictions.
No restrictions. All right. To start the card off, I would probably say Bret Hart versus Kenny Omega. You always got to you got to start a match card off with a good match. For my second match, I would have a tag team match with the Hart Foundation versus the Usos. For my third match, let's make it a women's match. Have Trish Stratus versus Sasha Banks. Fourth match, I would say I would probably put John Cena versus. Damn, that's a hard one. Who I would put Cena against any generation? Let's go Stone Cold.
What?
I know that's not the main event, but that's semi-main. For fifth, let's put another tag team in there. Ladders match. Let's run it back with the TLC match. The Dudleys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. And for the main event, ooh,
Drum roll, please.
Shawn Michaels. Who would I put Shawn Michaels against? Mr. WrestleMania. Whew. Damn, making me really think about this. Who would I want Shawn Michaels to face?
Hey, you're the promoter, not us. You're the one stressing out on your main event already.
See, I'm a wrestler. I'm not a promoter, so
that's what. Yeah.
But let's put Shawn Michaels versus MJF.
Ooh.
Wow.
MJF is ultimate heat master, but I think the storytelling between those two would be pretty good. Or
Okay.
or Shawn Michaels versus Bryan Danielson for the main event. Triple threat, actually.
Card's
Very
subject to
nice.
change, and he's
Right?
changing it. So
Thing with pro
just saying.
wrestling, every match card always has card subject to change. But I would put triple threat match: Shawn Michaels, H or MJF, and Bryan Danielson.
Damn.
Okay. So I don't think I'm going out on a
Very
limb
good.
here saying that any bookers out there for any promotions, if you need any ideas, you know who to hit up to get some ideas. Because
Even though he's a face, I'm just saying. We'll work on that, though. We'll work on that.
I mean, when I did debut as Rome Gibson, I did work as a heel, but shit, I'm not the best heel. I'll say that.
I guess you could say I'm
Yeah.
good, but until it's become the whole yelling at a kid becomes the truth.
Right? I mean, like the thing is, like, I guess people love me enough, so I was like, shit, can't be a heel. So my coach was like, "Yep, you're gonna be a face," and I was like, "Sweet." And everybody was already cheering me, so it just made it better, you know. Especially as a Taekwondo Pro gimmick, that's what's really working with me now is being Taekwondo Pro. It's basically me, but to a hyper extent, you know, just
And your hair, the fro,
energized.
the fro.
Yeah, I got the fro out a little
I
bit,
love
a
it.
little happy, but come Saturday, it's gonna be all picked out, looking nice.
I wouldn't know much about hair, but yeah,
but we know that. I mean,
that's what happens when you get married.
ouch.
Sorry, truth hurts. I know.
You're gonna be on the
Okay.
couch by the end of this podcast.
Well, exactly, huh? All right. So, Mr. Dodge over there, I'm going to pick on him again. You know, he may have all that money standing right there, but, it's all sticky because of peanut butter. Because his
Peanut
favorite
butter.
snack. Because his favorite snack is anything with peanut butter. So, what is your favorite cookie or snack?
Favorite cookie? I like double chocolate chip. I don't know why, but pretty much anything but red velvet or raisins and cookies, because if I'm a little bit of a sweet tooth person, so it's a good thing that you asked me this question. But anything but those two, those are so red velvet and oatmeal is just but
Yeah.
favorite candy, it's always been anything sour, really. But so like
Sour
I gotta
Patch
get
Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch has been having a lot of new flavors recently, and I've always been a Skittles person. Sour Skittles have always been my top favorite. Even though by the time you're done eating the packets, they have you have no feeling in your tongue for at least 3 days, but it's worth it.
It's my turn.
Yep.
Ding dong, hello.
All right, Bailey. Sorry.
Well, since you brought up the adoption story, it's a pretty good story if you want to tell it.
Oh my god. So my very first heel match as a ref or as a manager.
Oh,
I
you
would
ref
never
too?
ref.
Wow, we didn't know that.
Yeah, you want me to count to 3? 1, 2, 3. Family show, sorry. No, but my very first show as heel manager, see, I said it right. There was this annoying kid yelling, screaming, "You suck!" Blah, blah, blah. I turned around and said, "Oh yeah, you were adopted. Sit down, shut up." Now, intermission. Kid and the parents come up and said, the father tells me, he was adopted. I went off character. I felt so bad. I was like, let me buy your kid 3, merchandise, whatever he wants, and let me buy you 3 tickets to the next show. He's like, oh, it's okay. We know it's a gift. I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't. That's the
Right.
thing. I felt bad. So the next show, the kid comes. When we were entering the ring, I look at him. I'm like, oh, walk by, just whatever. Let him yell, whatever. So I go to this old man called Bill Chu, grab his walker, throw it in the ring, being an asshole. And I say, go fetch. So, anyway, so after the match, kid has a plate of, I think it was nachos or pizza, big on his shirt.
Dang.
He went with it though. He went with it. He knew because I told the kid, I'm like, it's a show. So he went with it and cried as they. So I bought him another pizza at the intermission. And
It
he's
probably
all
wasn't
like,
as
what
good as the
about my
first one,
shirt?
no.
He's like, what about my shirt? I'm like, go get one. You have money. But no, I felt so bad the first time I told that kid that. I was all like, now he's a fan. He's actually following me on Instagram. So I'm like, oh, cool.
See,
This little punk kid remembers me.
See, that's the best thing about pro wrestling. Like every show you have the fans really make it, and whether you're a good guy or bad guy, interacting with them is just amazing.
You have to.
Freaking, my coaches, both YT Jones and JT West, they have the best. If you want to hear their heel stories, they're the 2 people to go to.
Nice. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Every time I go back to California and go to a show, he's there at any Southern California show that I go to.
Nice.
And he's like, Big Money Dodge, you suck. And I'm like, oh, I know this kid. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Right. You always have those. You always have at least one or however X amount of fans that are always going to make it to every single show. For us, we have this amazing family. They're about family of 4. I'm bad at math, but it's a family of 4.
Well, don't become a ref then.
Right. But anyways, there's this guy. His name is Pops. He's an elderly guy. He's a vet, and he makes our show so amazing. Him and his grandkids, they're amazing. And YT Jones, he always be targeting the dude, but Pops always makes the 907 shows amazing. Always getting underneath the bad guys' skins.
That's why I love it. Like, you get the kids involved while they're yelling at you, saying you suck and everything. You just want to interact with them back and forth.
Right.
Get in their face, but don't touch them, of course.
Right. Obviously not. Don't touch them, because then that's how you get real heat, and bad things could happen depending on if you have security or not at your shows. But
one thing I remember, walking a wrestler back to the backstage after his match, a fan grabs his hair, pulls it, and at first I thought it was one of his friends.
Right.
No, it was a first time viewer, like ever.
Oh, I bet their world got shocked after that.
Oh yeah, like intermission, we both went over there. I'm like, do not touch the talent. I don't care if it's your first time. You don't touch them. We don't touch you. Why you gotta touch us? Why? Because we're bad guys? Okay, cool. But no.
Right.
Like, he yelled and cussed at her, like, got in her face. And I was all like, let's keep going. Let's go.
Right.
We'll wait until intermission. Suck a bitch. you know.
Right, because like wrestling, it's a show. Like it's made for everybody who attends it to have fun, and the depending on how many competitors are in a match and how many matches you have, we're all supposed to wrestle and make sure that they enjoy it. But
Exactly.
there's certain boundaries. Like it's different from like a handshake or high five and good interactions with the fans. But like as you see like people who are signed to WWE and AEW, they have fans waiting for them at the airport or like touching them weird and stuff. Like you just don't do that. As it doesn't matter how famous a person is or like how you view them. Like that's how stalkers are made. Like that ain't valid where I was from, because my parents have raised me with respect. Like I could not imagine having that happen to anybody that I know, because that's just messed up.
It really is, and it's sad that we had to get in their face. But
Right,
when you don't know what's going on,
right. Plus you don't
it's, yeah,
plus you don't know if the fan has an eye for what their intentions are doing. Like, because as wrestlers, like we can defend ourselves against that person, but if the person has an eye for like a weapon, there's not much that we could do about that. And
exactly.
it's like you're putting the talent's life at risk. Like when John Moxley, when he was still at WWE, some fan ran up on him with a knife. I was like, what the hell? But yeah,
Yeah,
like as a fan or as someone who attends to the show, there's certain things that you shouldn't do. Like, and it's just
yeah.
like us wrestlers are people. We, no matter whether you hate us
Shit,
or
you want to
love
take it out
us,
tonight?
like we all deserve like as human beings, we all deserve respect, no matter what your character is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So, what's your best Roy Lovejoy story?
Oh gosh, I've only known him for about a couple of months now, but geez, haven't really got the chance to interact with them. But so unfortunately, I don't really have a Lovejoy story to tell right now. But
Okay, I got another question for you. How'd your finisher come to be?
the the fro kick,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a bicycle kick or bro kick. It's just a simple kick. Haven't really gotten the win just yet with it, but that's hopefully that changes this Saturday.
It will,
Yes, it
as
will.
long as you're healed, not face.
But
Boy,
yeah,
you're like a dog with a bone on that thing, aren't you?
it's
Yeah, of
something that it's
course.
something that Bobcat McDillon taught me. Everything that I do in the ring is all because of Bobcat McDillon.
Nice.
And that shows you guys have really good chemistry, even in that 6-person match. I can tell, watching it, that you guys really work well off of each other.
They could. That means a lot. We've been a part of BARG, Bobcat Academy of Ring Generalship. He started it obviously because it's his name in it, but he picked me up a year ago, and that's when Rome Gibson turned into Taekwon Fro.
Very nice.
All right, Tony Khan. Or is it your turn, Nate? No, it's Tony
It's
Khan's.
Tony's, but I think he might be a little bit busy, so go ahead and we'll pick him up on the other.
Oh, how nice. We're skipping the panda loving son of a. Never mind. Anyways, family show. Sorry. Gotta get used to this. Um, I don't like.
Ding dong, hello. Will you just ask your question already?
It takes time. I gotta count my money and then I'll worry about a face. Calm down.
And he's got a sniff his buddy. Don't forget that.
Whew. Whew. That one smelled pretty good. Let me see.
I'm not
The
touching
biggest
that one.
name. Yeah, you better not. The biggest name you have wrestled so far in your career.
Calvin James. I've had about 15 matches, like one on as a singles competitor, star / tag team matches. I've been in rumbles with I've been in rumbles a couple times, but Calvin James is probably the biggest name that I've wrestled in an actual match, just because he wrestled Adam Pierce, who's as a manager or GM in the WWE right now. Both Calvin and my coach JT West have wrestled with Adam Pierce a couple of times.
Wow.
Damn. I only got hit by Brian Kendrick's steel chair, just saying.
Oh dang. But
Yeah.
like obviously like when we're not doing the 907 shows, when Wrestle Pro Alaska comes in and shows for the merger, I've been in the locker room and I've learned from a lot of the guys that they bring up here, like Lady Frost and Falaba, KM, Jay Lethal. I've had a couple of seminars with him, and he's an amazing standout guy. So
I
one of the
heard
best
he's
to
a
ever.
really humble guy too.
Oh yeah, one of the best to ever. One of the best to ever do it.
All right, Tony, I think you're up.
Yeah, it's Tony Khan's turn. So make that announcement to making the announcement for that announcement.
It's too early to make the announcements there, sir.
It's never too early, just too late.
So what is the best advice that your trainer has given you? And do you still use that advice today?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of advice given to me. I mean, for one and foremost, you always like I'll say the best one is to always believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who will? At the end of the day, that's the best advice you can give anybody.
Yep.
But there's a lot. JT West has given me a lot of advice. How to lock up properly, how to be in the zone.
How about super kick?
Super kick. I feel like that's not the best advice to give somebody.
No,
I mean,
like have you been taught the right way to super kick?
Yeah,
just saying.
But you might see me do it this Saturday. Might go on a super kick, might not. But I feel like almost everywhere you go, everybody's gonna throw a super kick. So it's like you gotta be smarter, and
you just gotta do moves that the other matches really haven't done.
Right, and
just to keep the fans going.
Keep the fans going, because if you go to a wrestling show, like there might be one or two spots that happen in one match that you might see in another one, but that's something that the 907 Pro Wrestling that we do not do, is we do not want to repeat something that we've done and what somebody else has done in the match before, because fans, like, you see it all the time, whether it's indies or on TV, you see matches that seem repetitive, and it's fans don't really get into that. So
yep, if they see a super kick the first match, yet the third match has another super kick, they get bored of it. It's all like, oh, I already saw one of these.
Or like
change it up.
Right. Or a sunset flip or whatever it's different to do like one move that, like, whether it's like chaining or like a body slam or what leads. It's all one thing that separates it from, like, if you do it, is what follows up before and what follows up after.
Exactly. You gotta change it up.
You got to change it up, because, or like if it's, let's say I'm in a match and 1 month and I do something to set up the same move that I did last month, but I do it in a different way. It's all about how you set up your moves, or like you can, or since, like, you're a heel guy. So let's say you're one of the heels that people like, and they expect you to do one
Nobody
move.
likes me.
You got to do something. You got to do something that entertains the fans, but you also can do something that they think that they know is going to happen, but you don't. You do something that
change it up. Yep. Smart guy.
All right, Dodge, you're up.
Of course. Why not? Let me see. What's your goal in professional wrestling? What's your goal?
the ultimate end all be all is to be a champion one day, like at least hold a championship in any promotion that I go to. That's the end all be all, and make sure that I entertain the fans no matter where I go. That's the end all be all. You don't want to be one of those wrestlers that fans you don't entertain.
Yep.
As long as I can
tell your story. Tell your story.
As long as I can make, whether it's one fan, 2 fans, 10 fans, 20 fans, 40 fans, 50, 60, hundreds, thousands, as long as I can make those fans be like, you know what, Taekwondo Pro, right? The millions. As long as I can make the fans feel entertained, and you're like, and they can go to their friends and be like, yeah, this guy has it, and he, like, as long as I can entertain them, and like, like you said earlier, whether it's, even if it's something promo wise, like, as long as I can make them laugh and smile, I feel like I've done a good job.
Yep.
So my question is, you guys at 907 have a very entertaining roster from what I've seen, from the Yoga Ninja
Tyler Payne. He's
to yourself, to the Hooligans, who I would match up to with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus had a love child. They would be like their twins.
Holy cow.
Wow. Okay.
So, what's it like working in an organization that has that much of an eclectic roster?
We're all family at the end of the day. Like, pro wrestling has gathered us around and make us train together, make us wrestle. Like, we're all family, so it's amazing. And especially, you mentioned someone like Tyler, who he's wrestled all over the world. So someone who has as much knowledge as him, that's a wrestler, that's not, like, I'm not trying to say it like in a disrespectful manner, but someone that's not our coaches, that, like, JT West and YT Jones, it's a different meaning, because he's currently wrestling everywhere. He just wrestled in Australia not too long ago, so it's different because he's still able to do it. He can give us knowledge, and sometimes other people have a hard time learning certain things that our coaches do. Same, like, there's a couple things that I hadn't picked up from what Coach JT West has given me multiple times, telling me some things multiple times. But when it's someone like Tyler Payne tells me something, it clicks better. Different background stories from each competitor that we have in 907. Like, certain things click different, especially if we have, like, similar. Like, I played high school football, and there's a couple people that have played high school football. So certain things like that, they're like, oh yeah, it's just like this. And they mention something that is similar to pro wrestling and football. It clicks better in the brain,
Absolutely. So, Big Money, you might find our next comment very interesting. Somebody named Steve Dodge says he's a big Money fan.
But
well, that's good. About time.
But he spelled Dodge wrong. He spelled it Dodger. So way to go, Steve, for insulting Big Money Dodge.
I'm going to report his ass. Damn fans that don't know how to spell. Crack kills, kid.
Oh, and one
Anyways.
clarification. Please don't tell the hooligans I just called them Drew McIntyre and Sheamus' love child. I don't need them to show up in town and like try to take me out.
I will pay you to go tell them.
Your secret is safe with me. Where I'm from, we don't be telling nobody else's business. We don't like rats.
They must be all faces then. God.
Wow.
Big money.
Actually, Dodge, I think you would like the hooligans. You should check them out.
All right.
They would be right up your alley.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. They have an MMA background, and same thing with Maurice Kid Money Mitchell. Like they have one thing. There's a different, like, again, wrestling has 31 flavors, all different backgrounds. It's how you do the MMA background into pro wrestling.
True story.
Definitely check out everybody from 907 Pro Wrestling. Hooligans, Kid Money, Calvin, Yoga Ninja, Tyler Kane, Jerry Bishop. I think you would like Kid Money.
Yes, I think he would too. Although Kid Money already has a manager, so you might have to work something out.
Drop his ass. Easy.
Right. You both like money.
Oh, I love money.
Well, you can always work out a deal like Bobby Heenan worked out with Jimmy Hart when they did the talent swap back in the 80s.
Right. And he's a heel, so you will definitely like him.
Huh.
All right.
I don't know if this is him.
Who is that? No.
Supposedly Kid Money.
That's not Kid Money.
No.
That's not who it is.
Okay. Well, while Dodge takes the egg off his face.
I don't know who that was.
Or the foot out of his mouth.
Hey, I am searching this Kid Money.
Or his foot out of his mouth.
That was Baby Change right there, who you just showed.
Kid Money, if you're watching this podcast, I do solemnly apologize from myself and the host. But, you know,
I don't.
The co-host, we don't know him. We just found him off the street, and he begged for a job.
Don't lie, you found me at the casino.
He only got that money he holds by selling off his food stamps.
Yeah, you know, he's just some homeless bum that only has like a dollar store t-shirt on, you know?
Ask your damn question.
Well, I was going to say, before I let you all answer your final questions or ask your final questions.
Well, then just
we're going to answer our own questions?
How the hell does that work? I want to know. Oh, wait. Somebody got this. Wow. Y2K. All right.
So, before I let you guys ask your final questions.
See, you almost said it again. Just saying.
I want to plug the Big Money Compound.
Does that mean I have to get a flyer?
I want to plug this because as much as we pick on Big Money, we do love him, and he wants to get his own wrestling facility up and running, the Big Money Compound, and it's supposed to start here in a couple of weeks. But
I will keep my eyes on that.
If you guys know anybody that needs to just come and sit online and just keep their head in the game, I mean, you guys can train at home, but you know, some of these trainers he has coming on are phenomenal. All he's asking is
can I list them?
All he's asking $25 a session, $150 a month. Big Money. Why don't you go ahead and list your trainers?
Why, thank you. You're actually being nice for once. Check it. Anyways, the very first trainer is someone that No, not her. She's not even close. This gentleman I love as a brother. He's taught me a lot. SoCal crazy over 25 plus years. I found out. He's fought Rey Mysterio Jr. And hell, I'm going to shove it in Rey's face. He beat Rey Mysterio, so beat that. Don't sue me though. Don't. I'm sorry, Ray. Don't take me in prison for like 30 minutes and I'm gonna act all hard. Anyways,
Like his son.
yeah, right. I didn't get the whole WrestleMania thing coming out
Anyways,
of.
so
Anyways,
do you have any other trainers you want to divulge?
Brian freaking Kendrick.
Woo.
Not only that, this is in the works. It's a hush hush. Well, it's not a hush hush if I'm gonna tell you, but the stink face himself.
Rikishi.
Wow, it's like I don't even need to see
My
his
bad.
name.
My bad.
And two members, two trainers from Inoki Dojo where I used to train. So if you know Inoki, you know anybody that goes in his dojo is legendary. So I got Durango Kid, Blood Eagle, and Labarito.
Wow.
Yeah, you could search them up. You're
Nice.
welcome. But yeah, there's a lot more, but I can't say because it's unofficial.
It's all good. I wish you luck in the growth of your school, because when I first joined 907, Pro Wrestling, we only started out like very small. The people who joined before my class joined, there was only 3 people, and then my class made it 10. And now we're at 30 and we've been growing for a very long time. And I'm very glad to see the growth on us, and I hope to see the growth on your school.
I appreciate that very much. It's been a headache, and that's why we're doing online classes for now to raise enough money to purchase a ring to open our doors. I have the venue, I have the gym, everything's good. It's the ring. That's all we're doing this for, to raise enough money for the ring, and then we open the doors. And by that time, those that join the class have that knowledge of what to expect when we open the doors, to do the rolls, to run the ropes, to bump, all that good stuff. They'll know how to do it. They'll know all the works. So we don't have to teach them from the ground up. You know what I mean? We're like, this is what it's going to be like when we open the doors. Here's his experience. Here's her experience, and so on.
Okay,
So,
especially with the people that you just listed, they have years of experience. Like you said, psycho crazy.
SoCal.
SoCal crazy.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at remembering names, but him, Rikishi, and the guys that you mentioned, that's almost 100 years of wrestling knowledge.
And all you're doing is paying $25 a session, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, for 1 hour. 1 hour of nothing but knowledge in your head. Even for veterans in the business, if they just want a refresher course or even just keep going, come sit down and watch or listen in. Put your 2 cents in. Please, we're just here to keep, like, people that don't have time to go to the gym to do, wrestling. Come sit in for an hour. Just an hour. It could be one time. Pay the $25. Sit down, listen to SoCal, tell you what you'll be doing, what you'll learn, what accomplishments you could do with this business, like travel and get paid. That's what I've done. I've lived my dream, and this is the final dream of mine, is to bring back to what I've been through to the up and coming. For instance, you've been in 2 years. You're a young cat. You've already accomplished a lot, which I respect you in a professional way and even a personal way. You keep
Thank you,
up
thank
the
you.
amazing work at what you do. Listen to your trainers. Take any advice you can as a wrestler, and take it with you in life. Trust me,
Will do, will
it's gonna
do.
be positive.
All
So
right. So
you're
moving
welcome.
on. So moving on a little bit, how you can find this man is please find Big Money Compound on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Please find Big Money Dodge or Big Money Exchange. There it is right there. Big Money Exchange on Instagram. But you can find Big Money Dodge on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, I do believe. You can find the compound on all four, I do believe. Also, you know, why online? Well, simple, because COVID happened in 2020. We're just starting to come out of the pandemic, and nobody's caught up with the post-pandemic yet. So this is all still fresh in everybody's head why we do this online. Yes, we would love to be in close and personal with each other, but, you know, are we really all ever going to come out of COVID? The answer is, who knows? So until he can get the doors open, until he can get the ring, please don't think the online classes are stupid or crazy, because obviously, ladies and gentlemen, it works. Our kids did them for school. We've done meetings this way before. Obviously, it works. You can learn things. So please, please, please give this man a chance. Give this compound a chance. Come learn from this man. This is probably the biggest testimonial I've given on this podcast, and probably wasted a whole lot of time. But however, it
I
is
feel
important.
like I'm in church with you with this.
However, I feel it's very important because not only is his compound important, that leads me to this next step. Without the
There's a
compound,
step, don't fall.
my man Nathan cannot live his dream and start his own promotion, Inclusion Pro Wrestling. That is going to be the home of Inclusion Pro Wrestling, is the Big Money Compound. So not only are you helping Big Money Dodge with his dream, you're helping Nathan with his dream. So please, 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 $25 a session, $150 a month. Look up Big Money Dodge. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So, okay, I've rambled. You guys can ask your last questions.
Well, mine's not going to be a question, but building off of what you said, the first thing I want to add one more thing about the compound is nobody's ever done an online training facility, right? And wrestling's all about first, you know? So, you know, we should give kudos to this man for giving us, you know, probably one of the biggest firsts out there. And then about the Inclusion Pro Wrestling, we're going to be doing a benefit show for the Special Olympics as our first show, and I would love to have you come down and wrestle for us if you're available when we put the show on.
What date is that?
We don't exactly know the date yet, but I can keep you updated on the details.
Okay.
It's gonna be sometime next year, definitely.
Yeah, it'll be sometime next year.
And yes, you could be a face.
All right.
Hey, whatever you guys want me to work as, I will work.
So we've ran longer than normal, so you guys aren't going to get to ask your last questions. So, Mr. TKF, sir, why don't you let us know where we can find you on your socials, your next matches, and just plug anything else you want to plug before we let you out of here.
All right.
As long as it's family friendly.
Yeah, I'm a family friendly person. That's how we run our shows at 907. Make sure that you follow our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for 907 Pro Wrestling. I'm gonna advertise that first because that's how, if it wasn't for 907, there would be no Mr. Taekwon From. On Facebook, you can follow me, Taekwon From. I'll accept pretty much every friend request as long as you don't give off stalker vibes. On Instagram, it's gonna be official TKF 907. I had to make that account because my other one got hacked, so I had to put official because they wouldn't let me use the name on that one. But that's where you guys can find me on social media.
Absolutely.
You said Taekwon what?
Taekwon Fro.
I'm looking for you, bro.
And then while he's doing that, I want to say thank you to our other two sponsors, which are the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And to get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that is Becky Bernhardt on Facebook. And Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs. And you can find him on Angie's.
All right. So, with that being said, we'd like to thank Mr. Taekwon Fro for joining us tonight, and for the Talking Forehead Wrestling Encyclopedia, the Knowledge Mr. Guru, Mr. Nathan Noss, to the one and only future compound owner, manager extraordinaire, and great all-around man, even though he's a heel and we hate heels. Big Money God. I'm Anthony, and hey, join us tomorrow night for episode 99, and I'm going to plug one more thing before I let everybody go. Saturday, 2:30 is our 100th episode, ladies and gentlemen, and this podcast has only been in existence for 6 months. 6 months, and we're already at 100 episodes. And our 100th episode is a good friend of all four of ours, Mr. T-Rex. Mr. Hopeful, if anything I have to do about it is hopeful soon future Hall of Famer, because this man has accomplished a thing that no modern day referee ever has. He's reffed 15,000 matches. And he finally decided to hang it up to work backstage. So congratulations, T-Rex. We look forward to celebrating with you on Saturday. And remember, T, this podcast is coming for you. You've got 15,000. Our goal is 15,001 podcasts. Yes.
That's right.
We're going to beat our mentor. So watch out. We're coming for you. But much love, bro. So with that being said, we're going to end this episode. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thank you
very much.